Okay, let's draw this Monstera plant leaf together. So this is kind of what we're gonna aim for, a textury pencil-like leaf. So let's get started. First, tap on your pencil, tap on sketching, and find your 6B pencil. And what we're gonna do, any color you like, is draw an oval. So draw your oval and then hold down your pencil, and you'll get a shape automatically, a nice smooth oval. And we want it pretty big to fill the page, and we want the oval to be wide. So if we need to edit it, after you pick up your pencil, tap up here where it says editing, and you get these nodes that you can move. Whoops, that I lost. That you can move around, make it longer, shorter, wider, thinner. And that's called quick shapes in Procreate. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. My wide oval shape. Once I'm happy with that, just tap on your brush icon. So we're gonna add the top of the leaf, kind of like a point, like so. And if it's messy, that's a-okay. And then the base, where the stem would come out of the plant, just draw a little curve like so. So that's where like the stem would go. And then bring it together. Remember, you can always hit pause if I'm going too fast, catch up, and then hit play again. Like so. A lovely messy outline. I like it. Now we're gonna draw kind of the middle where the stem would be. And these guides, these lines for guides where the leaves will be. So make sure they're not equal. And you just need a few. Once you have that, we're gonna add in a new layer. So tap the plus button in the layers. And we're also gonna lower the opacity of our sketch so we can draw on top, we can see it more clearly. So tap the N here of your first layer, and we're gonna bring down the opacity. I usually like to bring my opacity down around the 20%. If you want, you can have it at 50 or even less, but about 20 is good for me. So I got it down, tap on my second layer. Now I'm gonna pick a brush and go into your inking folder and find the brush that says dry ink. It might not be in the same order as mine, but just look through the folder and find dry ink. Once you tap on that, you know it's selected because it'll be blue. Pick a green color, any green color. I think I'm happy with that one. Got my brush, make sure I'm on the right layer. I am. And I'm gonna start outlining. Oh, bring down my brush size. It's about 20, yeah. I'm going to start drawing out my leaf. Now remember, these guides is where we're gonna have our indentations. So a Monstera plant has like these fun loops. Like so. Gonna do the same on the other side. And you can always fix your line work after, so don't worry about that. If you pick up your pencil, put it down. It's easy to fix, because I keep picking up and putting down my pencil as well. If you're not happy with it at all, you can always tap the back button. Voila. So now that I have my outline, I can actually turn off that first sketch layer, and to turn it off or hide it, just tap on that box. And I'm just gonna go in and clean up my lines. But before I do that, I'm gonna color drop my whole leaf. And to do that, you just drag it over. And now you can see where you need to do a little bit of a touch up. Turn your screen around to help you with the smoother lines. And if you need to erase something, just make sure you use the same brush as with the eraser. So I would make sure to use the dry ink as my eraser brush too. And then you know the texture will stay the same. So I'm pretty much just going to all the rounded corners and smoothing them out a bit. And you see this, if I zoom in, you can see that line, that's from the color drop. I'm just touching it up a bit. And we get this line because we're using a texture brush, or sometimes it's because our threshold wasn't strong enough of a percentage. Let me know in the comments if you guys know what the threshold percentage is when you're doing color drops. If not, I'll make a video on that for the next one. Okay. I'm happy with my detail, so now I'm gonna add some texture and some highlights. But first, I'm gonna actually erase a little bit, different spots. So make sure you have your eraser tool. Make sure you're using the same brush. So I got that dry ink. I'm gonna increase my brush size a bit. And the Monstera plant has these circular cutouts. Not all of them, there's different species of them, but some of them do. I'm gonna do something like that. Just zooming in to clean up my erasing here. Okay, beautiful. Now I'm ready for my details. So I'm gonna add a new layer. This can be your shading. So you can, if you tap on that layer, you can rename it shading. And we wanna tap on that layer a second time, and then we wanna enable clipping mask. So that when we use a darker color, wherever we draw, it'll only come up on the leaf, not on the background. So I'm gonna add shading anywhere kind of from the bottom of the plant going up, and then my light source will be from the top. So I'm gonna increase my brush size, and then just tilting my pencil on the side, slowly adding some detail. And if it comes up too dark, for example, if you're like so, we can always turn down the opacity of our shading when we're done. So you can turn it down, the opacity, which will lighten the shadow effect. So don't worry too much about the opacity or the darkness of your shading, just where you're placing your shading pretty much. So I'm just gonna add that shading to the bottom of each side of the cutouts of the leaf, just to give it some dimension. And then I'm gonna lower the opacity. And then we can add some highlights. And doesn't matter what color you use can use green, whatever color you like, pink, purple, blue, red. And I'm making my shading a bit messy just to give it some funkiness to it. And in the middle here, I'm just gonna lightly press, drawing kind of like a stem. And merge it down to the bottom like so. And now I'm gonna turn down the opacity. So I'm gonna tap on my layers, tap on the end to open up the blending modes, and opacity is right here. And I'm gonna bring it down around 30. Yeah, around 30–40%. You can always add more shading later. Okay, let's add a new layer. Tap on the layer, tap on clipping mask. This will be our highlight. So now I'm gonna grab a lighter green. Make sure I'm on the right layer, yep. Whoop. Where's my original green? Tap and hold anywhere on the page and you can pick up the color of the original green if you need to kind of reset. Okay, I like that. And just gonna slowly add some highlights where my light would catch the leaf. Just roughly adding in some lighter spots. Oh yes. Now, if we want to blend it more, if you would like it to be more smooth, you can tap on your blending tool and then same idea, go into inking, find your dry ink brush, increase the size to max, and it'll actually blend it out for you. So you want to start in the middle and kind of pull down. You can go back and forth just to kind of get a feel out of it, and then it'll be more of a smooth look. So it's your preference. The more you blend, the more the color, the highlight will disappear in a sense, as you can see, or it'll blend out. The more you bring it down, it'll blend into the background, to the leaf. So if you don't like the texture, you want it to be more smoothed, more delicate, then that's what you can do. Like so. And you can do the same with the shadow, for example. So if I tap on the shading, you can smooth it out. So it's not harsh lines. You can use the smudge tool for any of this. But you see, the more I play with it, the more it kind of disappears or blends in. Smudges, right? Just blending away, smudging away. I'll go back up to the highlight since I'm already blending. Might as well just keep going. Like so. Looking good. So now we just need a background, and I'm gonna go into the pinks for my background layer and add a really light pale pink color. So we're gonna add a new layer to the very bottom. And I'm gonna use where did it go? The Nico Rule brush. So go into your painting folder, you can find it there. And it's kind of like a square brush and it gives a bunch of texture. So I'm just gonna really lightly, in a messy fashion, draw that out everywhere. fill the background. I use a pink color, but you can use whatever color you prefer. Maybe you don't like pink, you can use yellow, purple. And I kind of want to mix it in with a darker pink, just so it kind of looks more fun. And I'm just drawing in every direction, as messy as I can. Makes it more fun. Like so. So now maybe we want to add a little bit of shadow from the leaf to the background. So what we can do is duplicate layer 2. So to duplicate, slide to the left, tap duplicate, tap on the bottom, tap off a lock. And we're going to pick a dark color, just black. So if you double tap on the bottom of the black, it'll right away choose black. Tap on your layer, second layer, and fill layer. So the bottom leaf is completely black, the top one is the original green. So what we'll do is tap on that layer where it's completely black, tap on your transform tool, and just with your finger, tap a few times on the bottom here so you can see the black, the bottom leaf popping up. You can already kind of see it if I zoom in, right? And then tap on your layers one more time. We're going to turn off a lock by tapping it a second time. So you know it's off because the checkerboard is gone or the check mark is gone. Then you know it's off. And we're going to head over to Gaussian blur, which is in the adjustments. It's about the halfway down. Tap on Gaussian blur. And we're going to blur out that shade or that. We're going to do that by start to slide our finger. And the more you slide, the more it disperses. So we don't want it too much, not too dispersed. So I'm gonna go with like 6%, not too much. If you prefer more, you can, but just a little bit. Like so, just to smooth that out a bit. Tap on your brush icon again, and voila, we are done. Let me know what's the next flower you'd like to draw.